And in life, I'm excited to be here. I am so excited to be here with Katherine, Kim Mullen, and Karen. And I'm Haley Graham, the founder of the Women's Entrepreneur Network. And I'm going to hand the mic back to you. I started talking because I noticed that we were live, and I don't like to leave dead air.
So I'm really grateful for you, Haley. You always provide insight on, like, we're about to talk about something about persistence and auto-suggestion, which Karen will take over. Katherine Kim Mullen, Sage Navigation, and we really work with having focus on one goal at a time, small or big, working towards it every day. And that really ties in what we're going to speak of today. We study Think and Grow Rich. And what does that mean? We read and we say, how can we apply that to our life? No, not like that. That's not exactly how I'll do it. And then you adapt it to what works for you. Because isn't life about, we so often pick something we want without considering who we are. And really, before you even do a vision board, a vision map, you do anything, figure out who you want to be. Because you can be whoever you want to be. Just, it's like, put on a wig if you have to. Take a walk. Just act as if whenever you want. If I feel like being a queen, I'm going out. You've seen Haley with her fascinating.
Yeah.
So Karen, how are you today?
I'm doing great. It's Friday. We got a bit of snow on the ground here in Montreal, but that's not going to dissuade me. So today, we have been talking for the last few weeks about many different things. And today we are at the point where we've got clarity on what we want. We've got our goal card. We've got a vision map. We have definiteness of purpose. We also understand what auto-suggestion is and how to repeat an affirmation to replace your negative thought that's planted in your subconscious mind. Something that somebody may have repeated to you or that you heard that your brain did not filter and it went somehow and got planted in your subconscious mind. So you repeat your affirmation, make something very positive, and that will help clear out those negative things that were stuck there. We also spoke about repeating that goal morning and night. Today, we're going to talk about how we repeat that goal, but something very important, a very important part of that recipe is mixing emotion and feeling with the words. And that's what Napoleon Hill talks about. And in his book, he states, the mere reading of the words is of no consequence unless you mix emotions or feelings with your words. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're also going to talk about persistence.
Great topic. Haley, what do you think of that?
I'm like, gosh, so many thoughts. I'm just processing. Those of you that know me in real life know that I will sit back and be like, I should have said something about that like 3 hours later.
Yeah, that happens so often.
But at the end of the day, this is partly about you set your goals and you have to own them because they belong to you. You and only you are the architect. And so if you want that, when you own it, you come to feel it in your gut.
And isn't it a reminder, because we just shared something before we started, I shared my goal setting where we connected on one of my goals as being the same as Haley's goal at one point. And we didn't know it was a goal. If I wasn't sitting with Zig Ziglar learning it, I wouldn't have known it was a goal. It was living life. And when you actually wear that thing and put it on and you like it, when you're being you, when you get on that phone with the person you love every day, because you've said by intention, I want to do this, and then you do it, you say, am I ever glad I did that? And you don't even know that you've set a goal. And those are the best goals, not that that you take them, you put them into your life. You don't know that it was a goal. It's just the way you're living. And you're just glad you did it. And it forever changed. And it's not that it didn't go without work, because my goal was at one time to be a real estate agent. They didn't sell commercial real estate courses at the time. They sold residential courses. So they didn't offer it in English, and I'm English. They only offered it in French. Look at the adversity coming my way there. No, I could have easily said, oh, I'm not studying law in French. It's going to be too hard. I'm definitely not studying architecture in French. That's going to be too hard. It got to the point, so my grandparents came from Ireland and settled here in Canada, my grandmother's family in Boston. And it got to the point that when it was set, and I said, that's what I'm doing, every obstacle 3 feet from gold that could show up, showed up. Every obstacle. It's like, what the heck is this? I'm never going to be able to the point when I finished and I got my certification, I sat and I didn't know how to say the word in English. And I'm English because I studied it in French. I wore it. I took on the obstacle and I moved forward. And all of you sitting there thinking, I can't do this. Like, I'm 64 and we're working in this room. We're working on $1 billion project together. Now get the word billion. I wasn't looking to make $1 billion. I was looking for 10 women to make 10 million each. That was my goal. And Haley, you've heard the goal. Karen, you've heard the goal. So what's your goal in this room? And I guess we say that and we get back to the point, the price of ability to influence your subconscious mind is everlasting persistence. Now, I've read this book. Everybody knows how long I've been reading this book. What, 1990? I've read, you know, I can tear the tattered one out. That never stood out for me. This is the first time I actually looked and I said, where did that come from?
Somebody added in a line somewhere.
Yeah.
This is a gift that you get when you read and reread, particularly this book, certain books, but particularly this book. You read it the first time, you don't catch everything because you read it and you're ready for certain messages. And then once you put those things into effect, and once you're able to master certain things, you reread something and you get new things so you can build upon what you've learned already. This is an example of that.
I like to think of it kind of like the shark analogy. It's like an ogre. You peel an onion. It's layers upon layers upon layers. And I mean, I think about the 3 feet from goal, you know, and obstacles and all that. And I remember hearing about that and reading about it 5 or 6 years ago. And it struck me differently at that point than it did when I went back through it again and again and again and again this summer. And, you know, it was kind of funny how it's the exact same teaching. And yet the way that my nervous system, my body, my brain, my entire being absorbed that information was totally different.
Yeah.
3 feet from goal, the exact same teaching.
And you know how many times you're in there and you have to let people go at their pace, at their process, and you wish you could just wave the magic wand for them. So anybody sitting here that's saying, I don't think I can do this anymore, I'm going to ask the next question. You say you don't think you can? Well, how about looking at it as, what happens if you can't? What else are you trying to do? What replaces it? It better be equal or better. Because if you give up on something, you're going to start a pattern rolling in your life that it'll just follow you. But if you stand up and say, I really don't want it. That's why I want to give it up. I'd rather this. That's okay. Why are you going to persist going after something? You know, our egos get in the way sometimes. So we have two things that happen with persistence. Or we should be giving it up because we don't really want it and we're not putting in the effort. I didn't become a real estate agent and become to do what I could do easily. I sacrificed every Saturday morning in a classroom. That was my weekend. I worked hard to understand. I worked really hard. It's the same somebody says, oh yeah, Napoleon Hill thing. Yeah, Napoleon Hill thing. Everybody in this room saw what I did. Over 1,000 pages, wrote the exam, did the community project. Like it's not going to come easy, right? Like who is it? There's a great movie, The American President, with Michael Douglas. If anybody has seen it, it's light. But at one point he gets really mad and he's running for president. And he said, you have to want it, because people, and I'm not going to repeat the lines right, but I'm going to rephrase it, and it's inspired this in me. You have to want your goal, because you're going to run into the 3 feet before gold. You're going to run into all the people and all the reasons you can't do it. Haley, when you started your community, you had a goal. Today, that community is what, 76,000, 75.7, whatever. Like, did you have any obstacles, Haley?
Oh no, no obstacles whatsoever. It was all perfect sailing. It just happened exactly as I planned it was. It was smooth as glass. I've never been called a Nazi witch. I've never been called, got all kinds of things. I have never been cursed out. I've never been stopped in traffic or met at events by random stalkers. I have, yeah, it's been a process.
It's been a
We've
process.
had bots and spammers and porn and you name it, we've had it. We've had to deal with it. All kinds of spammers and scammers and all kinds of things. And it's been a learning process, right?
I wrote an article this week and I really struggled with the article because they wanted me to write on I'm possible, playing with impossible. And we play with these faith and fear, possible, impossible choices all the time. And that's what it takes to get what you want. Choices, decisions, taking action. So when I think about what comes your way, when you ask the question is, do I still want to do this? Is this my passion? Is this exciting me? Does this allow me to be me? Because if so, then reprogram your subconscious mind, right, Karen? Like make an affirmation.
If your idea, we're talking to a business community, if you are in a place where you should be feeling like you don't have to work a day in your life. And maybe you're not there yet, but you will get there. But having fun while you're doing it will bring that also. So if that's not what you're facing every day, find ways, make that goal. And make that one of your goals, because you chose to do what you're doing because you love it. So what is it that's making you not feel that way? And move things around that you can. Or change your mirror, look at it in a different way, look from a different perspective.
And Karen, you just said that, which reminded me very much 3 Feet from Gold. For those who haven't read the book, because that's what we're doing here. We're giving you the Coles Note version. So if you don't have the time, we're here for you. Here's the real good one. The person that bought the gold mine, okay? Because he was 3 feet, Darby was 3 feet from gold and he walked away. So the person that bought the gold mine, and we have a minute, so what did he do?
Hired an expert.
Expert advice. So you're in a community, you're sitting there. What are you struggling with? Why are you doubting and stopping you 3 feet from where you want to be? Is it because you need to get a better idea and balance and vision, reach out. We're here. Is it because you need to figure out how to market it? Reach out. We're here. The experts are sitting right there, a message away from you. Have you jumped on the opportunity to get that counsel in the expert advice you need? Because the person that, he didn't take long, the person that got the gold mine basically dug a hole after getting the expert and hit the gold mine. Darby got a lesson. He never accepted no in the future and didn't give up. So, Haley, take it home. It's while we leave.
And, I want to say that a lot of times, the illusion on the surface, and I've been posting about this quite a bit lately, is that, people that are successful just got there and that it's easy and, that it was somehow instantaneous. Women's Entrepreneur Network has been growing for 8.5 years. What you see is the tiniest tippy tip of the iceberg. And a lot of people don't remember or don't even know like all of the things that have gone on in the background with the group, my life, with my business. And there can be this assumption that, oh my gosh, everything is hunky-dory, you're amazing, you're happy all the time. And it was all easy for you because look at where you're at now. And I would say, look at where I'm at now is more of a reflection of that not stopping 3 feet from goal and sitting there with the dynamite and the pickaxe than it was because things were easy.
That's good. That's a good one. Kim, you're on mute.
10:31, we want to thank you, Women's Entrepreneur Network, for sharing your prime real estate, your mind with us. Thank you, Haley Gray, for forever making it easy to look at marketing. And Karen, just love you and what you do for mental wealth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Happy
you.
Friday, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, let me stop the live.